Hey, I'm Lucy, and I'm an EMDR certified therapist and licensed professional counselor, and I offer EMDR intensives. And I feel like there's quite a few folks who don't know what an EMDR intensive is, so I thought I would explain and share a little bit why you might choose an EMDR intensive over just like 50 minutes or 75 minutes each weekly, and how EMDR intensives can be really supportive for some people. So I also want to share, this is a really incredible resource that my EMDR consultant created, and I'm going to just share the kind of the process of what it looks like with an EMDR intensive, and a different video is sharing just the 8 phases in general. But you can just expect that the phases will kind of be sped up a little bit because you're doing so much powerful work kind of all at once, and there isn't as much need for checking in as much. So some of these that might take a little bit longer can take a little less time, and you can really get to this really deep, powerful work sooner to really feel different. So the first phase of EMDR intensive, we're still gathering a little sense of history. We're getting a clear idea of what you're currently experiencing, and then the different experiences in the past that may be still affecting you. We also explore family dynamics at this point and beliefs about self. We do this in a 75-minute session, and that's the initial session together. And then also you, with an EMDR intensive, you get a workbook. And so the workbook is something you can have right after the initial session, and we've decided to work intensively together. And the workbook really has so much really deep information as well that we might in other sessions be like gathering over a little bit more time, but this is like you really get to reflect on yourself, explore, ask you all of these questions in a way that maybe you haven't really explored as well before. So it's like beliefs about self from different parts of family, looking at very specific resources, a little bit less of the like going back and forth and exploring, where you actually get to kind of come in having shared. And then with that also there's something where like I also get to review it. So once you're done with that part of the workbook and everything pre-intensive, after that 75-minute session, then we both get to review. So we're both coming in to the that first intensive day and both having this knowledge and sense. And a lot of clients have shared that they really appreciate that they like that they can really reflect on their own and then know that I've seen it, and they don't necessarily have to say every part and go through every part verbally. There's so much that's covered in that workbook that we both can explore and know that that's happening. And I also, with that, have a really good sense of like what resources you already have, and then being able to really exaggerate from there. And then our actual resourcing time in session can be a little bit less. Intensive days are usually 2 hours a day for 3 days a week, and that can be 1 week, and that can also be longer than that. It really just depends on what feels right for you. Sometimes folks will feel like, I have been wanting to dedicate to myself and healing and feeling different for so long, and this is that time frame that I can do this, and I really want to do this. And so we might just work together for like 2 months even, and do 3 days a week. It just really depends. Or I've also worked with some folks who are like, I just have a like very specific memory that I want to process, very specific things I want to feel different about, and I want to, and doing that in a week. So really depending on that. But we're looking that second day usually, or the first day, we're already checking in about the workbook, and then also with that we might even process a memory, depending, just if there's things like already knowing with that workbook, with the history in the first session, and with a little bit of the sense of resourcing. And then the second and third, also a lot of the time they're so close together, so there's less of this need of like checking in, that we can just go straight from like that processing from one day, making sure that it feels okay to leave and everything, but also knowing like, I got you, like tomorrow we're gonna see each other. So anything that needs to still be processed, we get to see each other tomorrow. Less time in between for check-in, less need for like adjusting to each other's energy and comfort. It's like, I saw you yesterday, we're good. And we get to just go in. And so that also means that we can get to a lot more memory processing and get really into like, what are these things that have been stuck for so long. A lot of times people are like, I have so many experiences of feeling powerless. I feel really powerless right now. And being able to process those earlier memories and that shift of like, oh, I am different, things are different now, my body is actually okay. It really changes things and can really change things fast. I had folks who are like, I cannot believe after a week feeling so different in my body when it comes to these things. Or something yesterday that usually would make me feel really powerless, like I didn't really feel that at all. I was like really grounded still, and just knew like, oh yeah, that doesn't affect me, or that's not connected to my self-worth or anything like that. So it's pretty amazing, and especially because there isn't as much time in between, we get to go really intensely deep dive, but we both working from a place of knowing, with the history, knowing the resources, you've practiced some of the resources and can access them, and then really feeling different in your body. And so that is amazing. A lot of folks will reach out first because like something really big kind of felt like it happened. So maybe being stuck inside because of weather, and then all of a sudden these feelings of like panic and tension and isolation, and I'm alone, and so much anxiety, and feeling like alone means unsafe and not being able to sleep and all of that. Or there's like a major breakup or something, and also feeling like, oh, I'm all alone, and the fears that come up sometimes. And so to then move to not feeling like that is really incredible in a small amount of time, and then that really impacts greatly. In like, let's say instead of 3 sessions, you're able to process like so much more in the time, because it's those longer and intensely, and there isn't as much check-in and everything. So yeah, it's really amazing. And if you're interested at all, please feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer any questions, exploring if this is right for you and everything. And yeah, I just wish you well either way. My name is Lucy, and I offer intensives in Portland, Oregon, and my practice is perceptivecounselingpdx.com. All right, take care.